Ito po ay
Katuruang
Wasto.
Is there any particular significance associated with our Lord's death at the age of 33? And also, why do Freemasons seem to place importance on this same number?
Well, our Lord's death at 33 was kind of the fullness of years. It was considered in those days to be the fullness of years of real maturity. That's when a man was, you became a man before the law when you were reached the age of 12, as our Lord was presented in the temple at the time, right? He stayed at that age, at the age of 12, our Lord stayed behind to confront the doctors of the law and ask them questions about the coming Messiah. And our Blessed Lady and St. Joseph went on, to head back to Nazareth, only to discover that he wasn't with them. And the point is that when our Lord reached the age of 12, he, in a sense, had reached an age when he had a certain responsibility. And he took that responsibility to his Father to actually lecture the doctors of the law about the coming Messiah. And there he was, standing personally before them. So there's no accident this happened when he had celebrated the 12th year of life, because he had a certain status before the law at that time. But in terms of becoming like an ancient or a respected man who had stature, the age of 33 was about the age when it looked upon like a man as reaching his really fullness of years. Even to this day, we say that the human brain is not fully formed until one reaches the age of about 25. But physically also, there's a certain strength that comes, and there's an argument to be made that it is at the age of 33 or so that we kind of achieve our peak performance and our peak abilities in terms of just the fully formed brain and the fully formed body become maturity. So the fact that our Lord died at the age of 33 certainly was no accident. It was a year chosen by the Father. It could well be argued that at that time our Lord actually, perhaps even the nervous system of a human being is so fully formed and completed by that time that's the time they can suffer the most too. Could be, I don't know, I'm just speculating. But you can be sure that that age of 33 was chosen for a reason. It was chosen from all eternity by God the Father. There, certainly is you might say, a practical reason concerning the sacrifice that our Lord was going to offer. At the age of 30, our Lord began to teach publicly. And he had a certain status to be called, at that age, 30, rabbi, and he taught for 30 years. He was a teacher and regarded as a teacher, and even his enemies referred to him as a teacher, a rabbi. So given that 30 years of age that he began his public life for 3 years, and then closed that on the cross at the age of 33, the timing of it is certainly divinely chosen. Why the Masons zero in on the year 33? Certainly, Satan is so-called the ape of God. He likes to mimic God, and he likes to kind of put on the livery, as it were, of God, not only to adorn himself and make himself look important, but also as a form of mockery to kind of sneer at God. So when you talk about the 33rd degree of Scottish Rite Masonry, right? And you talk about the 33rd degree of, latitude? For the Grand Lodge, right? Scottish Rite Masonry and so on. These numbers are chosen with, well, I would say malice aforethought, because the idea is, again, to sort of stick their tongue out at God, as you and I know, as we believe him to be. So that's their way of kind of taunting and mocking God. Anyway, there's a lot more that could be said about that, getting into Masonic imagery. Remember, the Scottish Rite Masonry has 33 degrees. York Rite, 18 degrees, and just regular old Blue Lodge, 3 degrees. So they don't all zero in on the 33 degree number. But Scottish Rite Masonry is notorious for being particularly anti-Christian, very anti-Catholic. So it's not surprising that they would devise 33 degrees, establish their Grand Lodge, here in America anyway, in such a way that it was a sort of a kind of a sneer at Christ and our Lord. Their whole mythology is built around a rejection of our Lord and a rebellion against him. And in a sense, even having revenge against him.
Yeah.
Avenging themselves against him.
This program is brought to you by
mga dapat Wasto sa simbahang Katolika sa Pilipinas.